Thank you, everyone. I appreciate the opportunity. I will probably take 5 minutes. I do realize that there is a real shortage of time. Let me expose what we are trying to do and who we are. So let's start with who we are. I taught at IIT Delhi for 7 years, and then I went to Canada as a professor and head of industrial engineering to the University of Windsor. I taught there for 6 years, and almost 20 years I was at the Wayne State University in Detroit. I took 1 year sabbatical at University of Michigan, Ann Arbor. All these years I supervised 25 PhDs, 67 master's theses. I wrote 4 award-winning books in engineering, close to 150 research papers. I started my first company, that was on 19th March 97. United States permits professors to start companies. And that was, started from Ford Motor Company, where I used to be a professor at Ford. From we do a lot of engineering. When I say a lot of engineering, we design virtually every part of the car, every part of the aeroplane, locomotive, outside. In last 16 years, we have worked with over 400 major corporations doing engineering projects. Then I added, just like my research papers, I went on a spree of, what you call serial entrepreneur. I created another 8 companies, and one of the companies that I created was to create software. So we created a set of 9 software. One of the software on supplier quality is being used. Say, for example, Pratt & Whitney adopted that software. And, Airbus is likely to adopt. We are in the talks. Similarly, Honeywell Aerospace, like that. So we created kind of a niche in number of areas. Now, coming back to R&D, we spent probably more percentage-wise, in terms of my companies, a little over $100 million a year kind of revenues today. But we spend a lot of money in R&D. I told my family that I will not take the money, let me invest all the money in R&D. So all these years I have been able to travel to almost 35 countries, chaired a lot of international conferences. I was invited at Aachen University in Germany for a week, and my eyes were opened. All these projects were industry supported projects. So there were over 50 PhD students projects were going on, but everyone was purely supported by the industries. So I was toying with the idea of how do I repay all the debt that the Indian population, I indebt to them in terms of my education in India. I grew up in a tiny small village, and they gave me the opportunity to come to IIT Delhi as a basically what you call a youngest professor in the IIT system. I left in '86. So we are taking some very bold steps, highly bold steps. We want to, let me tell you what we are trying to do. In the company, we have created 4 centers of excellence. One on the quality side, one on the finite element analysis side, like that. And we have done more than 3,000 engineering projects as a part of this company. So we do understand engineering. We have created over 100 patents, to our customers. So what we decided that, let's do something unique. We want to pair up with some 400 engineering colleges, who have master's degrees, or those colleges which are awarding master's degrees. Now this will be an experiment outside IITs, because, IITs already have all kinds of infrastructure. So, the steps that we are taking is, first step is the teachers have to be trained. So we will expose the teachers, maybe short-term, long-term, 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months, how to understand teaching of all, engineering design or thermal sciences, because we use every software that exists, in the world. We design and we do all those projects. So we want to bring them either through the web-based teaching or coming to our facility. And to lead that, I brought a gentleman. He's a gold medalist from IIT Kanpur. He finished his master's in PhD from University of California at Los Angeles. He did 2.5 years of postdoc, and then he worked 8 years at General Electric, aviation research. So he's leading this initiative. And a group of people, very, very smart people, and lots of them. In fact, I brought my director of engineering. This guy worked 9 years, in the United States at Ford Motor Company, 6 years at Whirlpool in Singapore. Then he was managing a company of around 100, engineers doing all kinds of tooling and getting them manufactured in China and Singapore, selling to Mexico, in US, Europe, and pair up with top schools like MIT, University of California, Berkeley, University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, and I do have, connections at the higher level in most of these, institutes in the United States. We have office in New York. So bringing all these collaborations and then pairing up, creating basically industry education consortium. That's what I'm after. I want to bring a lot of companies and, basically working with us, working with these colleges, professors, teachers, and, go one step at a time. We are, we cannot say that we have world-class universities today in India. Me being part of IIT Delhi, I know what goes in there. There are top-class students, those who are coming from joint entrance examinations. They are the best of the brain in the whole world. Then, the professors, they are really good, the great, because, having seen at University of Michigan Ann Arbor, I can compare, they are the best of the best. But you cannot duplicate all that. So our objective here is to take first steps, work with these 400-500 colleges and see if we can make a difference. And I believe we can do. We can make the difference. And that's what the other thing is in India, we are always talking about, what kind of education. Let me tell you my experience. The education that we are talking is mostly numeric. So we got a numeric education, which is hurting, India. The emphasis on the grades and writing exams. The real feeling of engineering in all other disciplines is really missing. So that's the one problem. The another problem is what you call mardangi. I don't know how to say in English, whether I say manhood or womanhood. So mardangi is a kind of common gender that I can do it. I can solve this problem. But the reality is that each problem requires 100 elements, and you might know 2 elements, 3 elements. You have got to collaborate. It's not the competition or showing how great I am. It's all about collaborating, asking questions, going to different people, finding how that problem can be solved. So we want to bring some of these ideas. We want to bring through all these guest faculty from the United States, guest faculty from within India, and really expose all these people to whatever level. How we can have that kind of relationship. We have been building some ideas. We have already built some relationships, and we are going ahead in terms of 400-500 engineering colleges. The other thing that has been bothering me for quite some time, coming back to the numeric education, the focus has been more on finding a job. So if you can see the parents, go to this school, get this degree, some kind of a paper certificate, and then find a job. Some of them are very smart, they get very good job. There are some of them are not that smart, and they struggle with some kind of a small job, and then all this. What we have done, we have created a center of excellence on entrepreneurship. I thought if I'm able to create all these companies, I want to duplicate it. I want to duplicate in every college. I want to create a center of entrepreneurship in every college. And if I'm successful in creating one entrepreneur out of these 500 colleges, you got 500 entrepreneurs. And that's my focus. So we are pairing up to create this, joint center of entrepreneurship between RGBSI and these colleges. And then we will help these, students to think differently. It's all about thinking. When I did all this research, published these research papers, it was I always say that nobody has control on thinking. We can beat anybody. And I want to create that kind of paradigm shift, not only thinking outside the box, but don't create any limitations. Thresh out all these boundaries and go and get the job done. So we are going to create this center of entrepreneurship in every college and provide them not only ideas and opportunities, but we have created a small what you call venture capital fund. And we will grow that. So that if some of them are promising ones, we will provide them, loans or, funds that they can't, find some kind of excuses. Oh, I don't have the money. I can't do this. I can't do this. We will take out all the excuses. So I think these are the simple, things. There are too many other things happening. Maybe at some other forum, I will be able to talk to you guys. but I challenge all the vice chancellors. There are some here, there are others, we will reach out. I challenge all the vice chancellors, work with us. We will change, your education system. We will change India together. Thank you.